Okay, welcoming all of you to our class starting for chapter number 4. By Lord Sri Krishna's grace, we have completed 3 chapters, which is 1/6, as we also chanted all 3 of them, I think the week before last. And now we shall get into the 4th chapter. Now, as we have been seeing in the last 2 chapters, Chapter 2 was very much a comprising of first the Atma Jnanam, then he stepped into Karma Yoga, and then Sthita Prajna, which is nothing but Jnana Nishta. Atma Jnana Nishta is Sthita Prajna. And then the 3rd chapter, he again, Krishna dwelled into the Karma Yoga in detail, in practice, and also in maturing of the Karma Yoga to Loka Sangraham, by which also he becomes a jnani. And we saw that the beginning of that 3rd chapter as well, Krishna said that this is 2 parts, that 2 marga, that he said Vividha Nishta. One is for the Sankhyana, which is the Jnana Yoga, though he said, and then for the Karma Yogi, the Yoginam, for Yogin. And then, but in any way, both of them culminate as a yogi at the end. Okay, now what this particular chapter comes to in what can I say, in comprising of both of them too, and this chapter is quite a deep philosophical chapter. So I really need your kind attention in this chapter as we dwell more into the depth of this one. So even from the chapter's heading, if you see, it is called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. I mean, look at the padam that it has been so easily. So, though the padams, we can get the literal meaning, we have to get into the tattvartham of this. So, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And as we know, we've been seeing in all of them, yoga, when we say, it is not a kind of a method or upayam, it is just a title. So in Gita, when we say 18 chapters of that, there are 18 yoga, it just title. Here yoga means just a title, that's all. But the title has got some relevance to the meaning in the chapter. So here the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, the 3 padam, all the 3 words, we need to exactly get the meaning so that when we get into the chapter, we will be able to appreciate the meaning. Here Jnanam means, normally we mean knowledge. Here what kind of a knowledge? Brahma Jnana or Atma Jnana. So Jnanam means here the Brahma Jnanam or Atma Jnanam, which was very much analyzed in chapter 2 in depth. Okay, keep that in perspective. Jnanam is equal to Brahma Jnanam or Atma Jnanam. Then karma, Jnana Karma, second one. So the karma here means the Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is because normally karma means anything is an action is a karma. Okay, but here karma means Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And often we also, when we practice this, we think knowledge is one thing, action is one thing. Like, we say theory and practice. And though we have been, academically been coming into a learning of theory and practice are different. And we always try to practice the knowledge into the practice. And as if when we practice, we don't gain knowledge, but we kind of keep it separate, but they are actually none but the same. That we have to understand in the perspective that as we are doing the karma yoga, the jnanam is more and more get matured or ripened while we are doing it. Okay, and they don't stand separate. Then jnana, so karma is equal to here Nishkama Karma Yoga, wherein we are doing the karma as every action as a karma yoga. And then the third one we said is a sannyasa. And sannyasa meaning to say a renunciation. And then literally when we say sannyasa means, that means we are renunciating from the normal walks of life, as if into a monkhood life, wherein we don't engage in any worldly affairs for our yearnings and our home. You have no belongings. But that is not the type of sannyasa Bhagavan is teaching here in this yoga. And we will see it in this one, that there are, again, he will say there are two types of sannyasi. One is a ashrama sannyasi, and another is a vidvat sannyasi, who is by knowledge, who may be just he may be in any attire, he may not be in a saffron cloth, he may be in a pant and shirt, or he may be just in a shorts and wearing in a t-shirt and going, but he could also be a sannyasi. That's the kind of sannyasi Bhagavan is talking to Arjuna in this particular chapter. So all three culminates from the karma yoga, because the Gita's essence is all being karma yoga, that you being in the normal walks of life, you being not engaged in your worldly affairs, being engaged in your family, being engaged in your work, whatever it is, or even if you have retired, or if you are a small child, even if you are in a study in your brahmacharya ashrama, in any of the ashrama, this Gita Jnana is applicable. And so Krishna says this Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga is that particular Jnana and Karma culminating into a renunciation bhava in the person. And for outside, he looks like a normal person. And that sannyasi will also call it as a vidvat sannyasi. And other sannyas called vividisha sannyasi. But though these terms are now I'm just introducing to you, just keep it in the mind, because as we go through many verses, we will delve deep into that one. So Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, what Krishna wants to say is this upayam. So karma is only a upayam, or a means to the jnanam to culminate, and through which he becomes a sannyasi in his own walks of life, that in however he may lead his life be. Okay, so that particular thing is what Krishna wanted to send here, make this particular chapter as a essence on this chapter, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Okay, and also I wanted to kind of give you this fourth chapter is very important in the sense that we will also see Bhagavan's Avatara Mahima, as we call incarnation. And we will see the difference between rebirth and reincarnation, which are both often misinterpreted. That also we will see in this chapter. But the main thing here is and also when Shankara Bhashya starts, he actually starts the introduction from the fourth chapter, because this chapter is the one where you get about, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, all those things. Paritranaya sadhunam. So all those things also, Avatara Mahima is also covered in this particular chapter. So that is why this chapter also is very, very important, with those important verses that is going to come. And also it is impregnated with the ultimate knowledge that one has to have while he's going through the karma yoga. And in this also you get that Brahmarpana. This is also in what you call Madhusudana Saraswati Swami, who has written Gudartha Deepika for as a explanation for Gita. He calls this yoga Brahmarpana Yoga, because there is one you will get, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi, Brahmagno Brahmana Ahutam, that comes in this chapter. And so, as a karma yogi, how to practice karma yoga is very simple. That's what as Krishna will say in this. Just any action that we perform with the thought of Bhagavan with us, that bhakti bhavana, with that itself one starts doing the karma yoga. Very simple. That in whatever we eat, in whatever we do, with that chintanam, with Bhagavan as our impeller, or for the goal as to the Bhagavan, that that mood as Bhagavan, you are the one who is functioning me. And it is for you that I am doing this action. You automatically become a karma yogi in a very simplest of form. That also we will see in this particular chapter. So having said that, let's get into the chapter. Okay. So can Maithili ji, can you chant after me? Okay. Okay ji. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Twice, sir.
Which Maithili?
Nigga Maithili, nigga.
Yes, very. Okay. Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Okay, twice.
Shri Bhagavan
Okay. Imam vivasvate yogam.
Imam Vivaspate Yogam. Imam Vivaspate Yogam.
Proktavanaham avyayam.
Proktavan Ahamavyayam. Proktavan Ahamavyayam.
Vivasvan manare praha.
Vivasvan Manave Praha. Vivasvan Manave Praha.
Manurikshvakave bravit.
Manurikshvakave Brahmit. Manurikshvakave Brahmit.
Okay. So, as we are going through numbering order, and as you see, we will also do the pada parichayam, and then we will go into that one. So, number 1 is aham. Okay, and number 2, Bhagavan says yam. Aham here, when Bhagavan says, now here is where Bhagavan is also reflect his, what can he say? He will prakatanam, that is swaya prakatanam. He will also here exemplify his quality as Ishvara, which is very much come in this chapter as been as a Lord of the universe. So he says, aham, Arjuna, aham, me, the Lord Vasudeva, imam yogam. Number 2, sorry, imam number 2 means this, imam means this. Then number 3 and 4, 3 is an adjective for the word 4. Avyayam yogam. Aham, me, the Lord Vasudeva, imam, this, avyayam yogam, this indestructible yogam. Yogam means, this means this karma yoga, imperishable, which is indestructible. This particular one yogam, avyayam yogam, what did I do? Number 5, vivasvate. Vivasvate means Vivaswan. That it is to the Vivaswan means here the sun god. Suryaya. Adityaya. Same thing. To the sun god, Proktavan. I am the one who told him. So I, Arjuna, told Vivaswan this imperishable yogam in the beginning. In the Proktavan, I have told him in this one, I have taught this to him at the beginning. And then it's like a story, it's beginning. Long back ago, once before the creation, I taught this particular yoga, this karma yoga, to Vivaswan, which is the sun god. And then what did Vivaswan do? Vivaswan manave praha. Vivaswan then taught this yoga to his son, Manu. Manu is a Chaturthi Vibhakti, Manave Praha. So Vivaswan told his son, Manu, very simple, second sentence. Then what did Manu do? Manu, Ikshvakave Abravit. That Manu, his son, Ikshvaku, Rama is from that same Surya Vamsha, right? Ikshvaku Kulam. So same thing. So first is Surya Bhagavan, then Manu, then Ikshvaku. So then what did Manu did? Manu taught the same thing to Ikshvaku. So what we see in this one to do is, so now let us get some perspective. What Krishna says here is, and imagine this is all happening, say, even if you take, so even you should take some kind of a time sense for us to know. Because he's saying before the creation. And who is Manu? How many years he lived? So I'm just going to give giving you a brief overlook of that. I think I have, I did make a spreadsheet. Let me see if that has come here. So you get some, okay. What happens is, what is the age of a Manu? For to do that, I'm telling you. I think I can make this a bit bigger. Yeah. Okay. See, this is very easy for you to remember. So I'm giving you some easy formula things that you have to remember. Our yuga at the moment, we are in Kali Yuga. Just remember, Kali Yuga is got 432,000 years. Okay, we are in the Kali Yuga, we are in 400, and that is the thing. When people say that, like, oh, you people do not keep history and chronological or event, or we are the one who gives it for millions of years. Every day when we say Mama Pata Samasta Durakshata, that we say Kali Yuga Pratame Pade. Meaning to say, in the Kali Yuga, we are in the Pratame means the first quarter. We are in the, so we even define to that extent. We are in the first quarter of the 432,000 years, maybe in the 100,000 years. And people say we are probably in the 5,000 years. But that is to say, really, one Kali Yuga, so we still have got so many more thousands of years to go in this Kali Yuga at least. These are human years, I'm saying, okay? So these are all human years. So we have got in Kali Yuga 432,000 human years. Just if you remember this number one. It is called Dwapara Yuga because two Kali. Okay, so Dwapara means two Kali. Two Kali means twice the Kali Yuga. So it is 864,000 into 2. So Dwapara Yuga only Krishna lived. So Krishna told this in Dwapara Yuga to Arjuna. Right? So Krishna, so Dwapara Yuga is 2 Kali, 864. That's why Treta Yuga 3 is because 3 times Kali. So that is equal to again, so 1.296 million. That is 3 times of 432,000. Okay. Then Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, as one may call, that is 4 times the Kali. That's equal to 1.728, 1.78 million years, human years. You can imagine. And this fourth thing, Chatur Yuga, is actually 10 Kali. So that means equal to 4.32 million years. So one Maha Yuga or one Chatur Yuga is 4.32 million. So you can very easily remember, Kali is 432,000, one Chatur Yuga is 4.32 million years. Now, Brahmaji, in his one day of his lifespan is 100 years. In one day of Brahmaji, he consumes about 1,000 Mahayuga or 1,000 Chatur Yuga. So multiply 4.32 by 1,000, 4.32 billion years. So that means Brahmaji's one day is equal to 4.32 billion years, or one night is also 4.32. Okay. And in the Brahmaji, what he says, in this is equal to one kalpa. So in one kalpa, he creates 14 manus. Okay. So now we say we are Vaivasvata Manu. We are ruled by the Vaivasvata Manu. Vaivasvata Manvantare, we say Vaivasvata Manvantare, meaning to say now we are ruled by the Vaivasvata Manu. And so in 1014 Manu means what? Almost each Manu has got about 77 Mahayugas. So that means one Manu lives for about 308 million years. 308,571,429 years. So 308 million years is one Manu. Okay, so this is just for the time perspective I'm giving. And also even today when our scientists, and then also now what we are saying, Brahmaji is in the Dvitiya Pararde. Mamo Pata Samasta Durdakshay Dvara Shri Paramesha Pritatyam Adya Brahmanaha. The Brahmaji Satum Adya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Pararde. Meaning to say the second half of Brahma is what we are. So Brahmaji is about 52, 53, you can say. I don't know, it could be even 80 years. The second half is they are saying. Okay, Dvitiya Pararde, then we say Jambut Pepe, Bharatavarsha, Bharatagante, then all those things we say. So our time and place has been so well fixed. Every day people do the Sankalpa. So the geographical and the historical representation in our practice is so absolute from macro to micro level. Just to kind of give you that perspective, I gave you that. So this Manu, okay, so this Manu told, and also here what Krishna wants to say that is, this particular verse also has got one more thing. Krishna is telling Arjuna, look, I have not invented anything new. He's Bhagavan. He's got the right to say, I'm going to create something new for you. But he did not say that. He said, look, this is being a time-tested wisdom that is coming. And so he says in the second line. Okay, Ganapati Ramanji, you can chant after me, please, if you don't mind. Evam parampara praptam.
Evam parampara praptam. Evam parampara praptam.
Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Imam rajarshayo viduhu. Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Sakale neha mahata.
Sakale neha mahata. Sakale neha mahata.
Yogo nashtaf parantapa.
Yogo nashta parantapa. Yogo nashta parantapa.
So here again, Krishna says, is stressing the importance of parampara in teaching or in the practice we follow. So he says again, as how I have thus said in the previous verse, Arjuna, evam, thus in this kind of a practice by generation in a proper sequence manner, this evam, here parantapa means parantapaha. He is able to scorch his enemies just by his valor. So that is parantapaha. Hey parantapa, evam, this particular one, parampara praptam. So thus it is come by generation by generation. It's a time-tested wisdom. It's just not that it has just been invented now. So parampara praptam, imam, this yogam, karma yogam, rajarashayo viduhu. Rajarashi means who is also a king and also a rishi, meaning to say it's mostly the Kshatriyas. Viduhu. They knew this. They know this. They have been knowing. They know this now. They will also know even to come. Okay. And what happened to this? He says, Saha, meaning to say that particular yoga, Saha, yoga, 7 and 8, Saga yoga, Mahata iha, Mahata kalena iha. By long distance, long time, as it has depleted, as it has passed. By the time that has passed by long years, nashtaha. So I'll just get a glass of water. Nashtaha means the practitioners have lost their ability to practice. The practice has not been lost. The practice has not depleted. The practitioners have depleted. That is to be understood here. Nashtaha means the knowledge is not lost. There is somebody who is practicing that knowledge. But by majority of them, this has depleted. That's what Krishna says here. That's very important to understand. The practice has not depleted, but the practitioners have depleted. And another thing very, very important here, Krishna wants to emphasize here is any knowledge that we get here, if it is not time tested by a Guru Parampara, Guru Sishya Parampara, by generation well tested, that is not an accepted knowledge. That is why we always say Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara. That Guru must have had a Guru. And that Guru's Guru must have had a Guru. And that Guru must teach as if this is what taught to my Guru. You know, in Viveka Chudamani, very beautifully, the Sishya goes, and this Shankara says in his, and the first word the Guru tells the Sishya is, Ma Baishta Vidvan tavanastyapayaha samsara sindos taranestyupayaha yenaiva yata yatayosya param tameva margam tavanirdishami. What he says is, first he says is, ma bhaishta vidvan. A vidwan who wants to come and learn this particular practice and that you want to apply, ma bhaishta, do not have any fear. Fear comes only out of doubt. Where there is a doubt, there is always a fear. So the teacher's first knowledge is, before I give you the clarity, do not have any fear, because by knowledge, fear is quenched. The more and more knowledge we get, fear of anything. What is the fear? Fear of this life, fear of this property, fear of this anything, your relation, everything goes away by this Atma Jnana. So that's why he says, that's why here also Krishna, first thing he says, Ashochanam Vashochastam, from taking the fear away. So, ma bhaishta vidvam tava na asti apaya. Apaya means this kind of a dukkam, or there is a danger. For you, there is no danger. The danger that we unnecessarily attribute to this body or to my relative, the body is body, or all these things, ma tava nastya paya. But if you think that you are being born and born, but then you are getting tossed, samsara sindos taranes upaya asti. That, and then there is a means for you to cross over this samsara sagaram. Yena eva yata yatayaha param. By the yatis, means the people who are making this effort, who have crossed over, Tyameva margam tavanirtisham. That same marga, that same one only I am teaching you. I am not teaching you anything before, anything new. If I'm thinking I'm teaching you a new type of a Kriya Yoga, I'm teaching you a type of intelligence, manifolding, unmanifolding, that nothing works. That's what Krishna wants to very clearly say in this hidden meaning in these verses. That I am part of that parampara. By that same parampara I am teaching you. Yes, today you may see that knowledge is not there. That is because the practitioners have waned, but not the practice. So that's what Krishna wants to say here. So this one we must very, very clearly. And even today, and then the Raja Rishi, they are still there. Take our, even today you can see our Shringeri Jagat Gurus. On Navaratri, though they are rishis, on the Navaratri day, they adorn themselves as a Raja rishis, because the Vidyar and during the Vijayanagara Samrajya, the kings wanted them to adorn like that on the Navaratri day, in presence of the Ambal. And the current our Jagat Guru, he was born in 1993, and still he is also there. So the parampara is always there. There is someone somewhere in the corner. That is up to Bhagavan to keep that continuing. We do not have to worry about it. That worry itself has to be gone. That's what Krishna, again, in these kind of shloka, he says. Okay, and then what Krishna says, next one, Rupaji, can you chant after me? Will you be able to?
I'll try. I'm not too familiar with Sanskrit, but I'll try.
No problem. And also here English is there, but I can teach you. That's the whole in this class. Everybody will be able to teach. Sorry, everybody will be able to chant. Sayevayam maya tedya.
Saevayam maya tedya.
Very good. Once more, Ji.
Saevayam maya tedya.
Very good. Yoga proktah puratanaha.
Yoga prokta puratanaha. Yoga prokta puratanaha.
Okay, just for you, for a chanting class, chanting also. See, when there is these two dots are called visarga. And after visarga, if there is a pa, okay, then this visarga takes a form called if. Like, the English word if, fun.
Yes.
That if. So we say yogaf proktaha. So again, after the iktaha, there is a pa. So it means yogaf proktah puratanaha. So chant, please.
Yoga proktaha puratanaha.
No. Not ha. Yogaf.
Oh, it's of F, is it?
F,
Oh.
F, yeah.
Yoga proktaha puratanaha.
No, proktah. Again, yoga
Proktah, yeah. Okay. Yoga proktaha puratanaha.
Very good. That's good. That's how we learn. No problem. Bhakto sime sakacheti.
Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti.
Rahasyam he taduttamam.
Rahasyam hetaduttamam. Rahasyam hetaduttamam.
Very good. Now, also in the previous one, you may have a doubt. I didn't go into that one. That's why probably I told you. He says, Avyayam Yogam, imperishable, indestructible. But here you are saying Nashtaha, it has been depleted. It seems to be a kind of a contradictory there. The same verse, right? Because you said in the previous one, Avyayam Yogam, but now you are saying it is also Nashtaha. How does it happen? What does it mean really? Because the yoga is Avyayaha, because the fruits are imperishable. Okay? Because it's a jnanam by which you made the moksha. Okay, the Avyaya Yogam meaning to say is because the fruits are Avyayam, so the Yogaha is Avyayam. And again, the second meaning also that you have to tell, as I told you, the practice does not wane, the practitioners are waned. That is why you need a Guru Sishya teaching. The practice is always there. It's in perfection. The practice is perfect. That doesn't deplete. The practitioners have depleted. So that is where Krishna comes again and again. And also the Avyayam there, for the Avyayam Yogam, when we gave that adjective to that one, is here, is it? Vivasvate Yogam, where did we give Avyayam Yogam? Parampara Praptam here. Avyayam Yogam. This 3 and 4. 3 and 4, right? Avyayam Yogam, but here you say Nashtaha. So that is to be taken as there Avyayam Yogam is to say that because it is indepletable, because the fruits are indepletable. But having said that, here the Nashtaha is because in the Parampara Kalena Mahata, that time consumes everything. In that the practitioners are vain, but not the practice. So that is how you dissolve the conflict, appearing conflict between number 3 and number 12. Just keep that in mind, okay? Very good. So here again, so number 3. So Krishna says, number 1, may bhaktaha, who is may bhaktaha? You Arjuna. So it is actually, hey Parantapa, may bhaktaha, you are my devotee. So Krishna has acknowledged, Arjuna, you know what? You are my bhaktada. You know, bhaktanache. Like, that Sishya, the Guru to Sishya vancha, that kind of expression of that acknowledgement, that's beautiful. And I told you also, Ma Baishta Vidwan, he did not say, you fool, you did not, don't worry. You said, you are also an intelligent man. So that's the way, how the Guru approaches the Sishya, keep elevating him. So he says, hey Arjuna, Tvam me bhaktaha asi, Tvam bhaktaha asi. Then again, he says, number 3, Sakacha asi. You are also my friend. How nice isn't it? The Guru telling the Sishya, sit correct. No, don't move. Listen to me. Hey, you are my devotee and you are my friend, man. We have, asi. And he is telling him what kind of a fondness, what kind of a beautiful approach. These are all places you have to appreciate very beautifully of Krishna excelling as a teacher, which you will rarely find in any other scripture. These are places which is very great. Many places he will say, even at the end he will say, Drishtosi, I am so you are Priya, you are my close friend Arjuna. In 18th verse, last verse before the 68, 66, again he will say. So, these are places where Krishna excels as a Guru. That is why he is called Jagat Guru, Guru Nam Guru. See how he says, Arjuna, me bhakta asi, tum me sakacha asi. Iti, therefore, asi. Iti, then number 7, number 5, asi. Iti, number 6, saha eva puratanaha. Saha eva puratanaha means what? That karma yoga. Saha eva, saha eva, puratanaha, ayam, that this yogam, ayam yogaha, ayam yogaha, adya. Now, adya, maya, by me, te, to you, proktaha. You are my closest friend, Arjuna. Me, tvam me, bhaktaha, sakacha, asi, iti. Taking that into consideration, Arjuna, with that bhavana, sahayeva puratanaha ayam yogaha adya mayate proktaha. With that same one, with how the previous parampara, like, father to son was taught, similarly in the same fondness, affection, it is proktaha. It is being said in the previous second and third chapter too. And then it is continuing to be said, yoga proktaha, and you know why he, number 16, because etat uttamam rahasyam. Etat uttamam rahasyam. Because why? Any secret is to be given only to the right candidate. Why it is still rahasyam? Bhagavan wanted to say. It is a rahasyam because it is a secret of the knowledge, of the self-knowledge. And that a secret is always, when would you give it to the right person at the right time? You won't give it to everyone. That is also a hidden treasure there. That you normally give this to the right student and the right one. That is why he says, you are my bhakta, you are my saka. So you are the one that is also so well qualified to receive this secret of knowledge. That's the meaning here. Because Arjuna may have a doubt. Oh, how am I going to receive this great knowledge which you are giving from Surya Bhagavan to everyone? Krishna says, do not worry. He knows his Sishya. You are my greatest devotee and you are so close to me. And whatever I'm giving you now, Arjuna, which is puratanaha, again, time tested, pura api nava isi puratanaha. That though it is so old, it is always remains new for the practitioner. And that one, he uttamam rahasyam, that it is the ultimate secret for the knowledge. And that is what is to be, Bhagavan says here. And in chapter 18, while finishing up this particular one, again, I'm just telling you some references you may want to. After giving Sarvadharman Parityajya, the 68th verse in 18th chapter, Krishna says to Arjuna, idam te na tapaskaya, na bhaktaya kadachana. If it is, and rahasyam, there also he will say, idam te na tapaskaya, na bhaktaya kadachana. So there also he says, finishing up everything, do not give this to anyone who was not having that recipient enough to, and asuchaka, that which has got that doubt, and that one that was always going to have the critical mentality and not a good recipient. But again he says, Yayimam Paramam Bhakteya, and then one who is my real devotee, you must give it even if under any circumstances. This Gita knowledge. So, this particular, in this, all these three verses, what you're seeing is the Bhagavan's importance in this karma yoga, that it is such an important, and the two other important thing is also very much here there. That this karma yoga by time tested is coming and protected by the Kshatriyas. And Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya. Even you have the responsibility to withhold it and pass it on to your generation. So the Kshatriyas not only protect the kingdom, but they also protect that knowledge and the practitioners. And it is your responsibility. That is why he also says, you are also a Raja Rishi. So these are important secrets which are particular where there. So then Arjuna, now Arjuna is a bit perplexed. Oh God, suddenly you put me so much into high pedestal, Krishna. Now, so Arjuna is asking one question here. And this is for clarification of all of us. So Nandini ji, you want to chant after me?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna Uvacha.
Aparam Bhavato Janma
Aparam bhavato janma. Param bhavato janma.
Param Janma Vivasvataha
Param janma vivasvataha. Param janma vivasvataha.
Kathame Tat Vijaniyam
Kathametat janiyam. Kathametat janiyam.
Tamadau Proktavaniti.
Amado proktvaniti. Tvamado proktvaniti.
Okay. So here Arjuna asked a question which we have to see. What Arjuna is asking, very simple. Hey Swamin, hey my Arjuna, Lord Krishna, Bhavataha means of yours. Shashti Bhakti. Bhavataha Janma, number 2, your birth. Aparam, meaning to say it has come later. Your birth, as I know, is later because we both are now in the same time, this battlefield. But Vivasvataha, of the sun god, Janma Param, it has been long back. He's been there long time before itself. It seems to be, he's born so long ago before in this film creation. So I have a doubt in this reconciliation of time factor, Krishna. So he says, you, Lord Krishna, Adau, in the beginning, iti, Adau, Proktavan iti, you are the one who told this in the beginning, Proktavan, you are the one who are the teller. You are the one who told this in the beginning. Thus, this particular narration, this narration of you through parampara, katam vijaniyam. Katam means how vijaniyam, how would I ever know? How can I reconcile this particular time conflict and put it into right perspective? I'm a bit doubtful. Now here, Arjuna is not being doubtful of Krishna here. He is just asking this in this whole one for also for us to know. So Arjuna being a nimittam, instrumental knowledge, there is no arrogance here. Like in our thing, it is just in a kind of a, not out of any arrogance or any doubting of his lordship. Otherwise, Krishna would not have said and he would not do this one. And also, in this two things he wants to kind of prove for all of us. Like, sometimes, how the anchor, sometimes you would prompt a great one is coming. Say he's interviewing a prime minister. Sometimes these anchors, they'll say, sir, I believe you are the one who in Gujarat. I believe, you also put the state into say somebody is going to interview Modi. Sometimes they would ask an anchor, sir, I believe you also brought the state of Gujarat into a great industrial revolution. How would we ever, and also, how can we know that you did that and you're also doing that? You see, because that though it's done, but sometimes the anchor will prompt that person to say, oh, yes, I did this way when we went to Japan. Something like that. So similarly, he's acting like an anchor. That's all, for our own perspective. Hey, I believe, so how does it happen? Because there are two things here. When we say that from knowledge perspective, or from one is from his omniscience, that you are sarvajnaha, that you knew what before before even the sun god was born. That means he wants Krishna to prove his own omniscience, acting as an instrument. His sarvajyatvam. Bhagavataha sarvajyatvam, he wants Bhagavan himself to reveal. So he is asking. And also the eternity, the non-eternity of Bhagavan. So that is why this is all the prompting of the recent seeds being planted for Bhagavan to tell about his avatara. Right? If Arjuna would not have said, Bhagavan is not going to say yada yada dharmasya. So these ones are good. We must thank Arjuna. that he is giving this question because now we will know about Bhagavan's Avatar Mahima, which we'll see in the next class. But this is how will prompt Arjuna to Krishna to say the next few verses from Sri Bhagavan Vacha. It's all beautiful in this Gita about the Avatar Mahima. Krishna is going to reveal himself, his Sarvajyatvam, sir, his omniscience and his non-eternity. And Krishna, even today, is alive. People in the Puri, that statue in that one, Krishna's heart is still beating, they say. Even from physical sense. Every 12 years that they change that particular idol. Because idol is changed every 12 years in Jagannath Puri. So Krishna is a ever remaining eternity in all manner, physical, mental, jnanam, in everything. He is a Paramatman. He's a Brahman himself. So that kind of all this eternity of Bhagavan and his Sarvajyatvam will be revealed by this question that Arjuna has planted. So the seeds of this question is to reveal by Bhagavan. And so he is acting like in the modern days like an anchor. That's what we wanted to say here. Not that Arjuna doubts about Krishna or that he does not, but he is just acting as a nimitta karanam, and that's what he is asking here. Okay, so with that, probably I will finish today's class because or we'll do one chanting of the one and then we will finish. We got another 5 minutes. Okay, who can chant after that? Shubha, can you chant, please? If you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Bahuni me vyatitani.
Bahuni me vyatitani. Bahuni me vyatitani.
Janmani tavacharjuna.
Janmani tavacharjuna. Janmani tavacharjuna.
Tanyaham veda sarvani.
Tanyaham veda sarvani. Tanyaham veda sarvani.
Natvam veta parantapa.
Natvam veta parantapa. Natvam veta parantapa.
Okay. Sorry, after the 5, I put another one, so I put 5.5. Okay. So here Bhagavan says now. So Bhagavan has now started to reveal his Sarvajyatvam, his omniscience presence, and also his knowledge of everything that happens in this world, of everybody, every creation. So from this starts revealing Bhagavan of his true Ishwaratva, Ishwara Mahima. So what Bhagavan says, Arjuna, even from this current perspective of you and me, that we are now in this particular dialogue, what Krishna says, Parantapa, hey Arjuna, first, okay, hey Parantapa, Arjuna. So Parantapa is an adjective for Arjuna. And Parantapa, as I said, Parantapaha, that he scorches his enemy by his valor. Hey Arjuna, may Tava, may of mine. Okay, may here means may janma. You have to take it as all my birth. Okay, and Tava janma, that is your birth. But what he says is Bahuni janmani. May janmani, Tava janmani, Bahuni janmani. I have also had lot of births. You have also had lot of births. Just not this one particular birth that we are putting this into the time context. He says this has to be understood, Arjuna, in the context of many births that you have had and I have also had. Okay, and in these births, Tani, meaning to say, Tani Sarvani Janmani. Number 8. Tani Sarva, what is that? Tani Sarvani Janmani. What Bhagavan says, number 10 and 11, Tvam na veta. You do not know. Tvam na veta, but parantu aham veda. But I know. So from here, Bhagavan very clearly says, that's a literal meaning first. Okay, because what Bhagavan says here is, that's what, because again, the next class I will go more detail into this, but an introduction for the next class is I'm going to give from this particular one. So here what we have to understand is, there is a difference between that births that Arjuna had and the births that Krishna had. They both are not the same, because Bhagavan knows everything, but Arjuna does not know. That is why he is asking. Okay, so that birth, that every individual, as we are ignorant, as we think we are caught in the samsara sagaram, our birth, as we are born again and again, we call it in English, say rebirth or punarjanma in Sanskritam. But Bhagavan's, that rebirth, in English sometimes they call it reincarnation, and Krishna is going to say that is avataraha. That is not punarjanma. So though Bhagavan is also being born again and again, it is not punarjanma, it is avataraha. Whereas the Arjuna that is every time that he is being born, that's a punarjanma. And that is what we are going to see in next class, difference between punarjanma and avatara. What is the difference? Why this happens? Because both are happening all at the same time. Very important. That's also Krishna is going to say. Avataram is happening even now. It's not that only avataram. There are many avatars, and the avatars are happening even now. Not to worry. As many janmas are happening. So Krishna is going to reveal all that thing in the subsequent verses, and also we will analyze that in a beautiful matrix to see what are the difference between this normal, and in English sometimes people mix up with this reincarnation with that's okay, that's not our look, but we will get that clarity through analysis in the next class, and why Krishna knows whereas Arjuna does not know, and how this knowledge of relative knowledge between Arjuna and the absolute knowledge that Bhagavan knows is also comprehended. So that with that we will see next class, because it needs a bit of an elongated lecture. So with that I will finish now. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita so Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama Chaturtho Dhyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat. Shubha, can you just chant Gita Mahatmya if you don't mind?
Yes.
Okay.
अथ गीता माहात्म्यम्